consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Office of the District Attorney, 9th Judicial District, related to providing services of public safety, criminal procedures, cooperative assistance, and other public services related. Want to do a review of this?
Yes, this was an item that in my briefing of last week, I went over with the council, and since we didn't submit a report on top of that, I came and in person to also go over it in front of the public, in addition to that, and also for the councilman that went in the opinion. Article 6. Under Article 6, Section 20 of the Constitution, Article 7, Section 14, the one that y'all hear about all the time from us, which is the prohibition against donations of public things. Article 6, Section 20 also declares certain provisions be allowed with, for example, the city and the district attorney. In this case, we're desiring an IGA, an intergovernmental agreement, or cooperative endeavor between two government agencies for the purpose of cooperation between the district attorney's office, assistant district attorneys, staff and professional assistants, and the city's police department training divisions, criminal investigations, case reviews, prosecution, pretrial intervention, and other related services. And the idea in the contract is so that we have persons assigned from the district attorney who are already commissioned ADAs to do work both in city court, advising the police on Fourth Amendment issues, warrant requirements, those kinds of things, going to the scenes of appropriate level cases where you may require an attorney at the scene to give advice, whether it be entering damages or advising on handling the situation that has already escalated. So these should be commonplace, and we just want to make sure that we have a current agreement in place to do that.
Will it provide a prosecutorial assistance to the city board?
It does. One of the things I mentioned to you last week was, while we have our own city prosecutors, as you know, most of the time they're cross-commissioned anyway. In this case, I think in just about everything. No, I'm not. So Kelvin Sanders is at city court. Derek Johnson, Mayor of Chaneyville, and also an assistant city attorney, Steve Manser, and Ronald Seastrong. Ronald is first or second assistant DA in Vernon. First assistant in Vernon. Does big felony prosecution, but does our misdemeanor stuff here. So Kelvin, Ronald, Derek are there daily, and I think also we have Steve Manser coming in and out. At least 3 of those are cross commission. At least 2 are cross commission, if not 3. So this would allow other assistant DAs, if we have need, in particular, what we think, in addition to what you hear about in the city court, is that we would have need for someone to advise the police directly on reports, Fourth Amendment issues, warrant requirements, and that's what it would be for, so that they're getting live legal advice 24 hours on call. There'll be on-call duty, and that can be assigned through the DA and agreement with us on who we want, when we want, and have that in place.
This is actually got the crime scene.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that, again, that's normal. I mean, from seeing it on TV to realize that's a normal thing to do. We have placed in the line item an up to 75,000 per annum. There's some room to move. That does not mean one single salary. That's an up to line item for that agreement. That is not to pay one person that. Obviously, the DA is already paying the person. This is so we have money to put into the intergovernmental agreement for any overtime or extra stuff that we need. That's needed, yes, sir. And it's already within the budget. It shouldn't be a no impact. In fact, it is a no impact.
I'll make a motion to recommend full council. You have a second? Okay. Decided we'll go on to full council for more discussion and approval. That's the only item we have on our agenda today. Take about a 5-minute break and start promptly at 5 o'clock with our regular city council meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in this evening. We will stay live for these 5 minutes until the regular council meeting gets underway. We do have a packed room tonight for the Alexandria City Council meeting. As you can tell, Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:01. The city council meeting is about to begin. Thank you all for tuning in there with us.
I'd like to call to order this regular council meeting, April 2nd, 2024, city council chamber. Invocation is said by Judge Owen, and the pledge is said by Cynthia Perry.
Father, thank you for this day. Help each and every citizen give us open minds and open hearts as we deliberate the issues of today, Father God. In all these things, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk. Here. Here. E, we have a recognition here. Dr. Paul Farrell, the Chancellor, President of LSUA. Podium, please, Dr. Farrell.
Thank you for being here. I want to thank you for all the good work and great results that you have provided LSUA and our community over the last several years. We have a resolution here in your honor that I'd like to read quickly. It says, whereas Dr. Paul Farrell was appointed Chancellor of LSUA in 2019, whereas over the years Dr. Farrell has made a positive enhancement to the quality of life for all in our community, and his presence in our community has not only been visible, but has made a real difference in the lives of our citizens. And whereas Dr. Farrell has implemented a major marketing campaign to increase university visibility and student enrollment. And whereas enrollment for spring 2024 now tops 5,400 students, making LSUA the fastest growing university in the state of Louisiana. Let me repeat that, fastest growing university in the state of Louisiana. And whereas LSUA diverse student body represents students from 50 states and 24 countries. And And whereas LSUA online programs experienced a remarkable 58.7% rise in enrollment compared to the previous spring semester. And whereas LSUA has a 42% debt-free career-ready graduation rate, offering quality affordable education with the lowest in-state tuition in Louisiana. Now therefore, be it resolved, I, Lee Rubin, on behalf of the Alexandria City Council, would like to thank Dr. Krell for 6 years of service to Alexandria and Central Louisiana, and recognize all of the accomplishments at LSU.
Thank you so much. I know y'all have a busy schedule, but I would like to say a couple of words. One, I can't tell you how much it's an honor and a privilege to serve the students of this community and the workforce development needs of this community. And with the support of the council and the people and the businesses, together we are achieving this success. I will tell you that we probably will be at 6,000 students in the fall. Wow. The last bit of good news that I know the mayor will be glad to hear, and all of you on the council. We got word today officially that we did get $3 million from the federal government for our downtown health education campus. And currently there's $3 million in priority one capital outlay for that, and that'll add to the other $3 million we got last year. So we're making tremendous progress, and obviously y'all committed $3 million. We're getting there, and we hope really in a little over a year and a half to break ground on that facility. So it's a great partnership. We're all trying to do the same thing to try to grow this community and make the quality a lot better. Thank you for your service, and thank you for honoring me today with this award. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, sir. Before we approval amendment taken from the meeting held on April 9th, March 19th, 2024. Public comment?
Yeah, I'd like to make a public comment. Yeah, it's about the meeting and stuff. And you see, y'all did a great job with Dr. Paul and everything. No, just
Sit down.
But the minutes, I want to disagree with the minutes because we're not allowed. Well, I was here for the minutes, so I don't need to read it.
Please sit down.
I can disagree with them, so please let me do it. Because the Constitution, the First Amendment says I have a right to disagree.
Sir, please sit down.
Can I disagree?
You can sit down.
Oh, no, I can't sit down and disagree. I have to disagree up here. So you're ordering me to sit down
Thank you.
without public comment. You said public comment.
Sir, did you sign public comment here?
Yes, sir.
This issue.
You can't sign up for this. Y'all told me you said public comment. Now, like I said, I disagree with the minutes because, it's not right. Y'all keep changing the rules, making the rules up as you go.
Sir,
The Constitution said
have you read the minutes?
I was here for the
Did
minutes.
you read the minutes?
I disagree with the minutes.
Well, sir, thank you.
But don't worry, ACLU, First Liberty,
Thank you.
we'll see if what they'll say about the public.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent calendar. Introduction of orders authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for public building HVAC improvements for indoor air quality for customer service building. The administration is requesting that this be delayed for 2 weeks. Need a motion? All in favor? Introduction of orders authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid for striping signs for public streets and other public properties 2024, 2025. 3, introduction of orders authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid for chlorinated equipment. No bids have been received on this. The administration request to re-advertise. Need a motion to re-advertise.
Nobody's Fowler, second one is
Public comment, discussion, all in favor of re-advertise? Motion carries. 4, introduction ordinance adopting operating budget for City of Alexandria fiscal year 2024-2025. Appropriations for ordinary expenses, policy, division, departments, offices, and agencies, divisions otherwise provided with respect to expenditures and appropriations, adopting the capital budget for the City of Alexandria for fiscal year 2024-2025. Appropriated funds for the capital budget for the City of Alexandria for fiscal year 2024-25. Provides the capital expenditures revenue for fixed and other matters with respect to appropriation and expenditure funds pertaining to. 5, introduction ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the contract with Fuel Process and Pumps LLC chlorination and dechlorination equipment for wastewater and water department. 6, introduction ordinance authorizing amending the 2023-2024 capital budget adding funds for Elliott Street reconstruction. 7, introduction ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid received from Progressive Construction Company LLC for construction contract for the Metropolitan Planning Organization capital improvement project for Elliott Street rehab. 8, introduction ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the contract with Finance Auction Company LLC and Bright Star Auction LLC special auctioneering services. 9, introduction ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute cooperative endeavor agreement with Chick-fil-A Incorporated for relocation of the primary electrical lines at 1300 McCarthy Drive. 10, ordinance, introduction ordinance authorizing the mayor to amend ordinance 26/2024 pertaining to the dates and location for the erection of light angles over Tuscany and Cowboys off Broadwell Station Place. Administration is requests this item be removed. I need a motion to remove.
second by Mr. Griffin.
Discussion, all in favor? Item number 10. Yeah.
Test eat. Test.
Why is it here? Please, quiet.
Yes, sir.
Do we know why? Do we know why? I think the dates was wrong.
The dates have not been changed. We were amending it because we were changing the meeting and the dates, and it's no longer necessary to do that.
All in favor? Motion carries. Introduction ordinance rezoning property located 2108 Bowden Avenue, MF1 multifamily district and I1 industrial district to CF3 single family high density district to allow for development of single family homes.
Yes, sir.
12. Introduction to ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Central Louisiana's 2024 Juneteenth celebration.
Nobody's Fowler, second by Ms. Bass.
Anything committee?
We need some forward to, we've already got it.
It's already
Maybe set up.
committee set up here online. And Yes. 10 o'clock in the morning. 13, resolution. Resolution authorizing advertising for bid for annual work uniforms for various departments.
Nobody's Fowler,
Second.
second by Mr. Griffin.
Discussion. Public comment. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 14, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for ready mix concrete.
Nobody's Fowler, second by Mr. Griffin.
Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 15, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for plants and companies.
Moved by Ms. Bass, second by Mr. Fowler.
Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 16, Resolution authorizing advertising for bids for fire hydrants and accessories. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed, motion carries. 17, resolution authorizing the city to co-sponsor the 10th anniversary celebration of Center Life Pride 2024 on June 7th and 8th, 2024. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed, motion carries. 18, resolution to co-sponsor Pops in the Park in April 2024, presented by the Rapid City Orchestra. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed, motion carries. 4, open public hearing. 4, open public hearing. Any outbursts, anyone think that we ask to leave the room without any questions? If that doesn't do, we'll clear the room. And, y'all be watching from the convention hall. And if you want to speak on this topic, you're not allowed to talk. It is for new people who haven't had a chance to talk.
Wait a minute, you can't want that.
Sorry, I just did.
Okay. All right. Sign up for public comment and we can't comment.
Number 19, I need to open public hearing. Move. Public hearing is open. Number 19, the whole public hearing, amending city council ordinance number 153-2022, related to boundaries of the city council district 2, 3, and 4. Reenacting the boundaries in ordinance number 153-2022 for district 1 and 5, and otherwise amending the reenacting ordinance 3 of chapter 2, section 246 through 250 of the city ordinance, of the city code of ordinance related to the city council districts, amending redistricting and reappropriating related to city council district 2, 3, and 4, otherwise to provide for effectiveness and other matters with respect to it. Mr. LaSalle?
All right, great afternoon, everyone. Mitzi LaSalle, a constituent of District 2, and both of the at-large council members. One of the first things, and I just have to do this, I'm looking at your rules here about the city council attendees and making comment, and there's nowhere on here that it says that a person that has previously spoke cannot speak again. This is a public hearing.
Excuse me, have a legal opinion, sir?
Do this.
Hey, sorry.
I don't mind hearing the answer.
We have a legal.
The presiding officer determines the rules.
So you either have some rules in hand in writing, they can be changed at any point, and that's legal.
No.
Mr. Gomes, would you like to address this?
Go on.
You can make a comment on the subject matter. Procedure.
Oh, absolutely, I'll proceed on to, but I just wanted the public to hear that comment and to know that it's very unfair to us as the public.
Yes.
Changes in this municipal code. The maps were adopted, I want to say September of 2022. They went into effect January of 23. I understand that Councilwoman Felter qualified in July of 2022 and then had the election. I understand that when she qualified, it was under the old maps, which it is accurate and understandable that she was able to qualify. But then once she was elected and the new maps did go into effect in January of 2023, at that time, it should have been addressed. First of all, possibly that she could have been grandfathered in once it was noticed that her home was not in that district again, could have been grandfathered in to complete her current term. But it is very unfair to the public that now in, April of 2024, that we are now looking at redrawing 3 districts' lines for one home. I do believe that this is a blatant misuse of political power, and I do not think it is fair to the other people in those particular districts. I am and have been a supporter of Ms. Felton when she ran for office. We are fellow Democratic women together, and I supported her 100%. But I do believe in us doing things decently and in order. And that if her home now is out of the district, then instead of redrawing the lines in 3 different districts, that then her consideration should be for the other district that her home is now in. I appreciate every public servant that wishes to run for office completely, and I have been there before. So I understand completely and know that it is a big step for you to want to serve your community. But I do believe in us doing it correctly and decently and in order. And an amendment to an ordinance cannot take place 2 years after that ordinance has been passed. Amendments take place when the ordinance is on the floor and the proposal is on the floor, or maybe 6 months later at another meeting, but not 2 years later.
Thank you.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Anna.
I am from District 3, and I've been there since 1951. We never, ever had anything like this to happen. Because when you draw a map, and it's in place, why do you want to change it because of one person?
Hey.
Don't do that. Because we all gotta walk that road. We all from Alexandria. And if you do that for this one, you're gonna have to do it for another. And to me, sell your house, buy another one. Sell your house, buy another one. They got all kind of fine homes, but it costs a lot of money. Sell your house, buy your new one. You got a new one. You got a new one in here.
Oh.
Don't think I don't know.
She's been investing.
Don't think I don't know. And you love your home, don't you? Okay, just like everybody else love their home. But if you're gonna change something for one, change it for everyone. Just don't do that, because we all gotta leave here. We all, it's just passing through.
Yeah.
And if you do that for one, you do it for the other one. And I'm sitting on a banana feeling myself. But what I'm telling you is, if you do it wrong, God will fix you.
There you go.
I'll put it to you.
God don't.
And when we do it, it's well done.
There you go, baby. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Ms. King, is it Miss King or Miss, I can't read the first name.
King.
Okay, Ms. King. I couldn't read the first name, so I wasn't sure.
I'm Julia King, and I live in District 1. I learned last week at the special city council meeting that there's 2 provisions in our city charter of which you can change boundary lines for the districts. After the national 10-year census and if an annexation has increased the population. Neither of these criteria are met in the redistricting request of Mrs. Felter. What I also learned is that the new district maps were on display for public comments from June the 1st to August the 22nd of 2022. Mrs. Feltzer qualified for the city council on July the 21st. A month later, the city council unanimously approved the district lines. And it is my understanding that Mrs. Feltzer did not make any comments during the public display of the maps when she qualified or when they were actually adopted by the city, by the council. So my first question is, why is this issue coming up now?
Great question.
My second question is, if this is in fact in the best interest of the city of Alexandria, why haven't Mrs. Perry and Mr. Johnson partnered with Mrs. Feltzer to present this recommendation for redistricting?
Nothing wrong with that.
If you do decide to adopt the new boundaries, this would set a precedent for any new council member in the future to request boundary lines be changed for any reason, regardless of what the criteria is in our city charter. Therefore, I urge you to please consider the best interest of the city of Alexandria and to reject this restriction, this redistricting, so that a precedent is not put in place. Thank you.
Move that public hearing to close.
Go ahead. Mr. Smith?
No, go ahead and close it.
I need a motion to close.
Sorry.
They wouldn't let us speak.
All in favor?
questions?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
No, you spoke.
That people feel about.
that was pretty.
Has not already spoken before.
Mr. Perry, can you let us speak, Mr. Perry? I'm just asking Mr. Perry. I can ask Mr. Perry a question. No, sir. I'm not going nowhere. This is First Amendment responsibility. I'm not going nowhere. I asked my councilman to speak.
Recess,
No.
No, I don't.
Yes, it's recess.
Why would we do that?
If we go dictate again,
No.
let's dictate.
No.
Now, I don't want to.
Deciding officer, ma'am.
You are definitely the signing officer.
I'm the
We see it
deciding officer.
clearly. Every time we sit at this
I'm
table,
the
every
deciding
time we
officer,
sit
ma'am.
here,
I'm
we
the-
see,
Why?
you don't
I'm
have
the-
to.
Please put it on.
Let's put a rule.
You could still go into the big room.
No, that's not right. No, but said this out of order. That's what the Constitution says. Y'all can't violate the Constitution. Ms. Perry, come on, please. Mr. Johnson. We got it. Come on, please. What's the word that you?
It's not a public
Coward.
hearing, it's a public.
You people don't care about the Constitution. This is right.
This with some problems.
Yeah.
See, everybody is running out of here. No, you're gonna have to arrest them. Look, no! You
You're very proud of yourself. That's so y'all proud. Y'all are very disgusting men. Where's the mayor? This is what the mayor does. We'll move as soon as y'all.
You look a coward. The man is a coward. Listen to Jim Millard and stuff for the coward. I'm sick and tired of it. No, 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 no.
Does media have to clear as well?
Everybody needs to clear for right now,
You are an old man. I've been business on an old man. That's the coward. You're cowards!
Come on, man. Let's go.
I'll leave y'all alone. Cleared up. That way, you can either move the room back or go exit this area, please.
So no media will be allowed to attend?
Please, couple, please, do that. Please, please.
Michael Caffrey, do you have any comments as the mayor or assistant? No comments from Michael Caffrey. As you can see, we're live at the city of Alexandria at the Alexandria City Council meeting dated for April the 2nd, 2024.
Hey guys, if you can keep going to the back room so we can do this whole area, I appreciate it.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Man, this is atrocious, brother.
You're absolutely right.
Wow. Wow. So I was just coming in, it appeared that that Cornelius made a minor statement, and Jim Villard
Ordered him to be arrested.
ordered him to be arrested.
You're absolutely right.
Let me talk to Mitzi right here.
Mitzi.
Hey, Mitzi. Hey, how's it going, Mitzi? This is Jack Hinton. How you doing?
It is going. I've had better days.
So tell Mitzi, as a former city council person, what was your observation of what happened in the council chambers just then?
Unfortunately, it looks like a dictatorship.
Uh-huh.
Looks like they can change the rules whenever the presiding officer, as they keep putting it, can change the rules at any point for public comment. And this is a public hearing. They would not allow individuals who had spoke at the previous public hearing to speak at this one. I have never seen that done.
So you're saying from the
for about 20 years.
So Missy, you saying that if they spoke the other day at the hearing that was the special council meeting the other day, they were not allowed to speak today?
That is correct. That was the decision of Councilman Jim Villard, the presiding officer.
President of the city council.
Yes. And I even questioned that when I first got up for my public comment, because this is the first hearing that I was able to attend. And when I got up for my comments, I questioned that because even my 4 years that I served on the council, years before that when I came to council meetings, and even years after that, I've never heard of that being done before. And so I questioned it, and of course they went on and asked their attorneys, and the attorneys said that the presiding officer can make that decision, of which it wasn't in writing. Now, we were all given in writing a list of the rules, okay, if you want to speak as a community individual, but that's not on this list. So that's the part that I questioned. How is it you're gonna give us a written list, tell us what the rules and regulations are, but then when we get ready to preside at the meeting, that then you change them? I've
You
never seen.
change the rule. It sounds like it sounds like Mitzi. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it sounds like modern day Jim Crowism is what it
Oh,
sounds like.
it definitely sounds like dictatorship. So yes,
Right.
it all goes in hand. Yes, and now they've cleared the room, and I'm not sure how you have a public meeting without the public in the room. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of interesting. I've never seen that one done before either.
And we
But I
will
guess
get a
in
copy of
Alexandria.
that, of those rules, and we will post those on the page as well for our viewers.
So we
Okay.
can hang around and see what's
Yeah.
going on.
Hey, Mitzi, thank you for your time.
Sure, not a problem.
All right, thank you.
We're going to go ahead and head to the holding area for that the citizens are being asked to go to in order to watch the meeting. So
So,
the
so,
citizens was actually asked to clear the room and go into convention hall while the public hearing takes place.
and media is not allowed in the council chambers.
I clearly asked, was media allowed to stay? And they said no. It's up to the presiding officer,
So,
which
did
would
they
be
go into
Councilman
executive?
Gifford.
Did they
They
go?
did not. They did not go into executive session. So what they're doing is actually violating our constitutional rights.
Wow. So the I I I wish you could have left that camera just rolling in there, Steve. This is unbelievable. I bet any kind of money the proceedings. If people had questions to ask the council, just a few seconds ago, they won't have that ability to ask the council. And so, how do you have a public meeting without the public presence? I'm curious.
You can. You can.
Wow. Wow.
I did see Michael Caffrey and asked him, did he have any comments? He didn't have any comments, so he immediately left the area.
So is it any of the other? Is it any? I thought I saw the Lorenzo Davis who ran for mayor a while back ago. Is he around and want to say anything about what's going on here?
Let me see if I can locate him.
Oh, okay.
We do have Lorenzo Davis, and we do have Mr. Scott, and you do have
Yeah. Let's talk to some of these public officials and find out what's their thoughts about the public not being able to to sit in a public that wasn't causing any problems in a meeting. Why weren't they allowed to sit in on this meeting and observe and ask questions about what was going on?
Gotcha. Ma'am, would you like to comment? No comment? Mr. Scott, would y'all like to come? Slaughter, would y'all like to comment on the proceedings? You didn't see it? Gotcha. Would y'all like to comment? No comment? Gotcha. I see Mr. Davis.
There's Miss Candace. That was no, she probably won.
Mr. Davis. We have, you're live on Urban Cast.
Yes.
You also have Mr. Hinton with us as well.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, how's it going, Lorenzo?
Oh, man, I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted. I'm upset because this is
Hey, Steve, get a little closer.
this is autocratic leadership at its best. We don't live in Russia. We live in the United States of America, Alexandria. So, yeah, this is undemocratic. It shows that the people don't even have a voice in the city of Alexandria. I mean, you put a public hearing on the agenda and you remove the public. We're the taxpayers. We're the people that mandate what goes on, the laws that are approved. I mean, you are elected officials to represent us, and yet you want to represent the mayor and dictate to us. And what they did Mr. Cornelius, was disgraceful. It was unconstitutional, and it was unfair. And I've already called some people regarding that. So, Jack, you can't stand aside and stand back and continue to let this type of political partisan gerrymandering take place. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, man. But listen, well, Lorenzo. For all practical purposes, it's really important that the people not only get out there and go vote, and but it's also important that you guys are exercising what's your constitutional right, and that is holding our public officials accountable for for what decisions that they are making and different things of that nature. And the idea that you can't exercise that in a very civil manner. And looking at it from this end, Lorenzo, it seemed like it was a relatively peaceful meeting, and it looked like tempers just went south of the border really quick.
Well, Jack, my first question is going to be, I sit back in a lot of city council meetings. At the end of every resolution, they say public comment. Our home charter said the public has a right to comment on all matters regarding to what affects our city. But yet we don't get a chance to talk. Like Ms. Cornelius said, that's what I'm doing on public comment. I mean, you can't remove or change the laws because they don't fit what you want. And you can't sit in a public meeting and have someone act like they're dictating what we say and why we say it and how we say it. That's unconstitutional. I mean, we know, Jack, the freedom of speech is one of the most powerful parts of the Constitution. So now removing the right to vote and now the right to speak, Jack, is unheard of. I've never seen or witnessed some of the things I witnessed. And as I was telling Kenny, as he's standing here with me, thank God, because I'm a little upset. I said a little, I'm a lot upset, Jack, over what I witnessed. Because this Canadian means no harm. I mean, you've interviewed him, you talked to him, I've been around him. He was only voicing his opinion about how he felt, not only as he was treated, but how he felt. So I talked to the officers that engaged and handcuffed him and told him not to hurt him. And right now they're seeing about him, and I'm trying to make sure he gets medical attention because we don't need him hurt based upon him acting out his rights, his constitutional rights. So Jack, I'm glad you're covering this. I'm glad Uncle Willie, he needs to be talking about it as much as I am. It's Missy said it well when she said she's never seen anything. And she sit on that, she sit up there on that deck. She knows what the law says. And for them to try to change the laws to make what they're trying to do right or legal, this is unconstitutional as anything witness. So yes, that's disappointing, but we have to take part in the census. Some people have told me the last couple of days, why is the census important?
Hey, Steve, can you get a little closer?
I'm fighting against it because it doesn't bother me that the majority of the people that take the census don't look like me. But the reality is that we're all citizens of the United States of America. And we all have a right, we all have a voice. So I don't care about the fact. I know the census is a law, but I don't care on the fact that they say, well, y'all don't really take part in the census. So, I mean, the people that take part in the census should have a right to be more involved and more active and make change. No, she doesn't. One person doesn't make up the ability to change our maps, to gerrymander our maps and our borders and to change districts to fit our own agenda. It's not right. It's not right, and I'm very upset about it. And we're going to speak out. My council person said that he's going to allow me to speak in a few minutes, and I hope it happens because I'm going to give the information that the Department of Justice gave me regarding this matter. And of course, people are watching. And this matter that happened today is a disgrace. With the center of central Louisiana, with the center of Louisiana, the central, we should be examined.
It's appalling.
What government looks like throughout the state of Louisiana.
I'm not gonna say it's not, that it's not unheard of, because we've heard of it all through history. We've seen it all through history. The same biased, corrupted, discriminatory systems that's in place. They're doing the same thing they've been doing ever since they brought it over here. And you see now it used to be kind of abstract, covered up, hidden. Yeah. Now they're doing it right now, face. They bold with it. Yeah. And as long as the majority of us don't show up to these meetings, don't vote, they're gonna continue to do it. Exactly. And you see what they're doing. Stop the whole meeting because they don't want to hear, they don't care about it. They don't care about our community. Our community is third world when you go down there. You have nothing. They don't want to hear it, ain't nothing down there just for free. That's right. They don't want to hear it, ain't nothing in our area. But then they want to change lines. It's kind of suspect because during history when y'all changed lines, it impacted our community. And it was on purpose. So I feel like it's the same system. Same system. All power to the people. We're going to stand out with the people.
We're going to stand.
Got to.
We're going to stand, Jack. We're going to stand and we're going to keep fighting, Jack.
Okay.
And I thank you and Uncle Willie for being in this.
Oh, yeah, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And I'm shocked they didn't allow the media. Freedom of press, and Uncle Willie, I mean, I've said that time and time again. Freedom of speech.
Now when you're black, it's not
freedom. Now the people that get a chance to see you guys act out your freedom of press.
When have we ever had freedom? We got the illusion of inclusion.
We got to fight. We have to fight. We keep fighting.
I did see some more people around. I will see
Jack,
if I
it's
can.
good talking to you.
Good talking to you too, Mr. Davis.
Some people that might want to talk.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and head this way for a second. We do have paramedics on the scene. Mr. Green, would you like to give a comment or a statement?
Who was that?
We did ask former Councilman Green, would he like to give a statement, and he said no comment at this time.
So we got ambulances at the city council meeting now?
Yes.
Wow, Steve. Steve, flop your camera around, man, if you can. Since you ain't talking to nobody, we can talk. Lights flashing. Hey,
okay, I'm here.
Yeah, you might want to get a look. Okay, can say something? I don't know if I can hear you or not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear. So what all? I was just coming in. I got back in. I got a little information on, on the
Excuse me, Jack. We have Lizzie Felter tuning in to UrbanCast. She just sent a comment to the page. I'm not able to see it, but
Who did?
Lizzie Felter. Can you see what her comment said?
Oh, she sent it. She sent it to the page itself.
Yes.
Oh, okay, hold on one quick
I'm going to
second.
go ahead and flip the camera around.
Okay. This is pathetic, though. The idea that media is not allowed in the council chamber to.
You do have paramedics that's about to remove Mr. Cornelius White. He is in handcuffs. Paramedics are on the scene. Mr. Cornelius, how are you feeling?
Not good. My heart. That's because of the city council. They won't let us speak. No freedom of speech in Alexandria.
If you can hear Mr. Cornelius, he said that his heart is hurting. He's disappointed in this council for violating his constitutional rights, for allowing him to speak.
Steve, I don't see any messages.
Something did come to the page. I don't know if it came to my tech phone. I'm sorry, Jack. It actually was a private text message to me. The text message read, "Mr. White is more stable and is being taken care of by Acadian ambulance."
Well, you need to text Lizzie Felter back and ask her: Is the public going to have the ability to continue to observe this council meeting. That should be, the public should have the right to hear the proceedings. We are.
I just replied back to Councilwoman Felter. Is the public going to have the right to attend this public hearing? And I'm waiting for a reply back. For you all that's just tuning in, we're live in Alexandria, Louisiana, on the steps of Alexandria Convention Hall. We were at a Alexandria City Council meeting. A concerned citizen, Mr. Cornelius, spoke out against unfair treatment and a violation of his constitutional rights. He said something, and Council President Jim Vallord asked that he be arrested. Mr. Cornelius was taken down to the floor and placed in handcuffs. Mr. Cornelius White stated that his heart is hurting at this time, and he is loaded on the back of a local ambulance provider. You do have Alexandria Police on the scene as well. At this time, we are not able to attend the public hearing because Council President Jim Vallord asked that the room be cleared.
Have you ever seen anything like this before, Steve?
Never. We've been attending council meetings for the last couple of years, and we have never seen anything as appalling as this.
Wow.
It's truly embarrassing.
It really is, Steve, because from the angle of from the outside looking in.
Council, at this time, council is back up.
Okay.
And we're headed back into the council chambers.
Okay.
Oh, we're not headed back to the council chamber? Mr. Vallord said that he can change the rules as he sees fits.
What he said as the presiding officer, we make a motion. I was the one when everyone was at the group that brought this up that we could bring a motion. It was my idea.
The sound is horrible. This is really sickening.
So you have two legal counsel and nobody can answer the question. Please legal counsel as well. The press is not allowed to attend the council meeting. We are inside of Convention Hall. Uh, Volume is very low, so the people in the room can't hear it. So they didn't go into executive session, so they are violating our constitutional rights.
And you know the sad thing, Steve, is what I was getting ready to say just a few seconds ago. You know, it appeared that it was not a hostile environment in the
No.
room, so it wasn't a situation of any of the council feeling threatened or anything like that. This appeared to be just a decision of the council president, Jim Villard, using an authoritarian style of leadership and just put everybody out. Do you think it was designed because of the poignant questions that were being made that they couldn't answer and different things of that nature? What appeared to be going on?
I don't think that they have the answer to the question. And Mr. Washington asking legal counsel, Trey Gentz, can we change the rules as we go?
What other media? Well, I really don't give a rat's whether they were there or not.
So I motion that we stick to what these rules are and not change them up today. So that we can move past this meeting. If we're not going to pass this, we got to go to it. Yes. Resign the lane and the time that we do.
Just for information, these rules were not submitted by Jim. These rules were submitted by me, Mr. President. Okay.
Steve, I'm gonna jump out because I need to head over to the Public Service Committee.
All right then.
Hey man, you just hang on in there, brother.
Will do.
All right.
What was your motion? I want you to add, we're going to go with these rules today, we're not going to change these rules today. So somebody still back to you, they can speak to me in this room. It means that We have a motion, we have a second, so now we have a roll call. Ms. Johnson first. Yes.
Mrs. Joe Ryan.
Do we have discussion first? Is that what you said?
Discussion first.
We have discussion.
Right. I'll just make sure before we voted, there was nobody else who needed to say anything.
Ms.
Yes. Ms. Barrett? Yes. Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
You had 3 councilmen voted no, that they wanted to uphold the rules to not allow the citizens to speak, and those votes were Jim Vallord, Chuck Fowler, and Lee Rubin voted to suppress the people's voice. In favor was Washington, Lizzie, Perry, and Johnson, allow the citizens to, if they signed up to ask a question, that they were able to. And if you can look at the gesture or Mr. Trey Gint's posture, turning his back to Councilman Washington, and he is the attorney for the whole city council.
Let me say something because I've been sitting up here. People like me, I got hit about 3 weeks ago to get up power. So when people get heated, it's no telling what they're going to do or what they're going to say. We are appointed to guide and lead this city. And every time someone gets out of here, we pass. He got it. Let the people speak. My phone run all week long about this meeting. So at this point, I want people who came to represent District 2 all of them come back and get right now. And let's get this meeting back on track.
Mr. Johnson is saying that he wants the council to allow the public back in.
Okay, it's not just saying, it says you're not free to come. Yeah, you just said, you know what I'm saying, it says, but it says it's not 3 minutes coming. So we don't have,
Jim Vallord is crawfishing on what he said.
which means that you cannot tell the people, well, we're so fast, you can't speak this. Right.
We're going to go ahead and walk towards the front. We're headed towards the
audacity to lock us out.
They just said to let us back in, they not understand? He said it was to let us back in, they not understand? Until they come. Until the officer comes.
The ca- the council voted to allow us to come back in, and the chief of police just got up there and made a statement and said that it's up to the president. So they voted. They are in violation of the Open Meeting Act law. No.
These people came to a public hearing, and I want back in you. It's so bad. That's my motion to let people back in and do the second motion. You will have to do the powerful president come back in. That's all the people. All the people. All the people. That's the motion is on the floor for us. I need to say, that's it. Yes.
Mr. Rubin voted no. But Lloyd voted no. Lizzie Felter voted yes. Perry voted yes. Johnson voted yes. He abstained. Public is allowed back in.
One thing that I would like to offer to our council and public is what it means for something to be disrespectful to quorum, outbursts, things like that, so that when we do have to enforce these rules.
When you run for an elected position, you take all the heat that goes with it.
The public in a respectful way. You know, we want to make sure
You speak, man. You sound like speaking. Oh, I did that. I've never seen this. Never. When she gave that public meeting hearing last week, I've never seen that before. It's illegal. It's a public hearing. I guess they make them kids. I got
So the council is still having discussion. Uh, They have not opened the doors yet for us to enter the chambers, even though the council voted in favor of allowing the public to go back in. The vote went as followed. Lee Rubin voted no. Jim Valloy voted no. Lizzie Felter voted in favor. Perry voted in favor. Johnson voted in favor. Chuck Fowler abstained, and Reddix Washington voted in favor. There's, they're having a private meeting without the public.
And yes, Liz, you emailed me, I didn't respond to text, I respond. I didn't answer your email simply because I wasn't trying to get that. And then when I sent you the text, I didn't respond to your text. I responded for myself and Mr. Johnson. So I will say that you did reach out to us. And I just, with this, it's just,
I want to shout out Ron Paul. I want to shout out Ron Lewis and Anders. Love you. I want to give a shout out to
Hit your mute button, Jack.
Paul and AFS. I have never.
whatever statement we made, let it be for me. Let it be for me, some of the changes that I'm going to do. If I want something, have to go with Mr. Cameron. And yes, this is the main people we're talking about now. Maybe we should can we set up a meeting for that? Because if it's me, it's Miss T. If I want to meet with a director, I have to go with Mr. Cameron. Go with Mr. Cameron, I get more ideas. All I'm trying to do is do the right thing. And evidently, I can't do the right thing. I set up a meeting with the mayor. I get phone calls. What's the question? What is it about? Tell us what the question is. Who does that? Why do I have? And I realize he may want to get the answers or have the answers for me. But do anybody else, when you make an appointment, do you have to go through that? Okay. But good, that's good. Okay, so that's good to know. But how would I know that if we don't communicate? And see, I learned something today. What times?
Oh, I probably wanted to reach out.
So all I'm saying is, let's do things decent and order. Let's do things right. Let's work together. How hard is it?
You really don't care.
All I want is respect. To be able to trust the other y'all, for us to work together. Because you know what? This is not about us. This is about the constituents. This is about the citizens. This is not about power, because I don't have no power. Nobody has no power. The mayor does, but we don't have any power. This is about serving the community. This is about being a servant. This is not about us going back and forth with each other. And I'm tired. I was so tired. I took me out my church last week. But do you know how I feel? Can you relate to how I feel?
They don't care. They're short.
You get there just so you can all these
They don't care at all.
want to see
Yeah, they might have.
citizens tear me down. And then I have to come in and I have to be torn down by my colleagues. So I feel just because they don't do this, that they don't help me.
Third world.
They eat me up. The same ones that sit down here that I want you. And then I have to come back on a Tuesday and I have to say, are they gonna be with, are they gonna be with us this week or it's just gonna be this? It's easy for me because of my week.
Look at the expression on Trey Hitt's face.
But you know what? I love what I do. I love my constituents. Everybody here there. That's all. In that same, part behind what you're saying, this is why we're struggling with this ordinance I presented so much, because the heart behind it is not to get power, not to divide, not to do something for one house. It's to, you know how much time, work, effort, and knowledge has to go into serving your district and learning the streets and the houses and the people and the problems. And so when, I do want to clarify, when I reached out via email and text, I asked, what are your comments, what are your thoughts, what are your changes? So, let's definitely work together. The thing I heard from that John's part obviously was that y'all were good with the changes.
Nobody don't care.
I'll tell you the truth, because I'm a truth teller. One thing this council, being on council, did for me, it got me closer to God. So, I'm a truth teller. Right now, we're going to do this same thing we went through a few weeks ago with the game board. It's the exact same thing. Three of you guys combined about 60 years on the council. And seems like if I've been doing something for 30 years or more, then I would know, okay, this is what this town needs. But I'm gonna say something for when my position gets back in here, because I'm gonna say something again. I'm gonna say something this is mostly communicated.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But they're not.
Yes, just I changed my leadership because I met with the people on here. I thought it was better to change her, put her better on board, not put her go back to her job. No.
Jim Villard went back to changing of the data appointees.
Because I changed my member in good faith. You guys, don't put it on me, Jim. No, we get off subject. Let's get back in here. We got to get with old people here. Mr. Johnson, members of the council. My thought, Mr. Public Safety, what happened with these outbursts creates a significant public safety issue.
These people.
Continue that, obviously in the direction of Mr. Lamar, president here, but we're not going to allow this to be disrupted to where public safety becomes an issue.
We're gonna try this again in Central Louisiana and see if they allow us in. But the police chief said that he feels for the public safety and allowing the citizens back in. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're requesting everybody to come back in. I do want to make this announcement. If you have any outbursts, we will have to clear the room again. All right? You're welcome to go back in. No outbursts. Yes, ma'am. Can you speak? Sign up.
We have made it back into the council chambers. Thank you all for hanging in there with us. It was a lot of heated discussion while we were out of the room. You did hear them say if there were any public outbursts that we would be asked to leave again.
Item number 20, consider final adoption orders amending city ordinance number 1532022 related to ground of the city council district 2, 3, and 4, reiterating and reenacting the boundaries of ordinance number 153-2022 for district 1 and 5, and otherwise amending reenacting article 3 of chapter 2, section 2-46, 32-50 of Alexandria City Code of Ordinances related to city council district, amending redistricting reapportionment related to city council district 2, 3, and 4, and otherwise provide their effectiveness and other matters with respect to
Move.
So we have some public comment?
No.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, yes. No, go ahead, Ms. Keith. Ms. Keith, let you go first.
For the public, I'm Howard Gist, and I've done a lot of work for a long time for the city of Alexandria. Ms. Felker and Mr. Law asked that I give a brief presentation on essentially the timeline for the original 2022 redistricting, to address some of the facts and some of the actual procedures. Because there's been a lot of discussion over the last few weeks of people that think they know things. Well, all I can tell you is what facts are, Mr. Millard, members of the council. And first, we got to remember that under the charter and under some basic constitutional principles, city councils and legislatures should, after censuses are done, do redistricting. That normally happens about 8 months after the census is finished. The 2020 census was impacted by the COVID virus, and there was a long delay in getting the census data published. Normally, it's sent out in April, the year after the census. So in this case, it's the April 2020 census, and it should have been here about April. But it wasn't. It wasn't here until November of 21. That's important because that began a series of delays. In late November of 21, the Rapids Area Planning Commission received some data from some software that they had. They're the local entity that maintains the software, and they were able to take the census tract information and begin to look at the changes throughout Rapids Parish. The very first thing they had to do was they had to address the parish. And that went on until about March. And the city couldn't do anything in early 2021. And I think this is important for the public to know. There was a delay because of COVID, and then the police jury had to review their precincts, make any changes they wanted to make. And there was a compelling reason next for Rapids Parish School Board to do their redistricting, which meant the city was waiting until sometime in March and April. That's important because their deadline to make changes for the November 22 election, the last city election, was in June to get everything done in time. We all know, we've heard different people say what Ms. Felker did, what Ms. Felker didn't do, what the city council did. But these are the facts. These are facts. RAPC waited for the data and had the first review and furnished the Rapids Parish Police Jury with the information. On April 26, 2022, the Rapids Area Planning Commission indicated Mr. Porter, who was a council member at the time, and Mr. Reddix Washington were coming by their office. They had not yet been able to come by because they had just been the data was just available. That was in April, the end of April of 2022. About that time, the city had some computer problems. Everybody's heard about the city had computer problems, and the city did not have any computers that were up. That was important and delayed the city council working on the 2022 redistricting. In fact, on May 31st, 2022, the Finance and Legal Committee met, and that was Mr. Porter, Ms. Davidson, and Lee Rubin. That was their first time they ever heard from RAPC on the proposed redistricting. Some of the former council members say it was done earlier. It was done by the public record, which has been sent to the Department of Justice and the Secretary of State. First meeting in which it was even discussed was May 31st, 2022. On the same day, the council president asked us to prepare by title only the redistricting ordinance so we could begin to start the process. But on May 31st, we did not know what those maps were going to be because we did not have the meetings. Meetings went on with the then council throughout the summer. And you've heard people say there were maps done for 6 months. That's not correct. In fact, the redistricting ordinance by title and without the maps was delayed at the request of Council President Ms. Davidson on June 14th, 22 for 4 weeks. They were again delayed July 12th, 22. They were again delayed August 23rd, 22. Now, about that time in August, and it was August the 17th, 2022, the city engineer received data from RAPC, and the maps and the district descriptions were prepared, and I prepared them. I didn't have the information before August the 17th, and the council didn't have it until I sent it to the council on August the 17th, and that date's important. The city council president asked that the public be notified through the city clerk for a public hearing, and the maps were available at City Hall on August the 26th, 2022. Public hearing was set for Tuesday, September the 6th, 2022. The maps were outside in the hallway, and on September the 6th, 2022, the council, by unanimous vote by Mr. Fowler, Washington, Porter, Davidson, Villard, and Rubin, with Ms. Perry was out of town. The council adopted the district, the new redistrict plan. Now, why is that important? We'll get to that. There were public hearings and the changes that were made, particularly with District 18, were made on September the 6th, 2022. The ordinance is passed unanimously by the council, said in section 5. Be it further ordained that provisions of this ordinance shall not reduce the term of office of any person holding any position or office on the effective date of this section, for which the appointment or election is based upon the council district as composed pursuant to section 2-46 through section 2-50 of the Alexandria City Code as enacted at the time of the appointment or election. Now, why is that important? We'll get back to this point. That's because Ms. Felter had run for this council seat, District 4, twice. She ran once against Ms. Davidson, and she did come in first. Ms. Davidson was elected. Ms. Davidson was a city councilwoman when the council made changes to precinct 18. But before those changes were made, Ms. Felter on July the 21st qualified to run in her neighborhood, at her house. That election was held after this redistricting ordinance was passed, Mr. Villard. But the election was held November 8, 2022, and Ms. Felter was elected by receiving 64% of the vote cast in the precinct 18, which is her neighborhood precinct, where Polk Street is. She received 71% of the people who voted in precinct 18. That vote was 105 to 42. Now, she took office in December under the charter. This ordinance did not go into effect until January 1st. Ms. Felker didn't have anything to do with that. She ran legitimately. She had a residence on Polk Street, and when she ran, she got elected, and she got elected by 64% of the vote in District 4. She got elected within her home precinct by 71%. So when she got elected and got on this council in December and January 23, she had options. She could move. People said she could move. Ms. Felker does not wish to move. Her and her husband have a home. They're on Polk Street. They want to live there. She had options. She could ask and discuss for redistricting. To do that, she has to have the data. She has to look at the impact that and we use the April 2020 numbers. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing illegal about changing an ordinance. The way you change an ordinance is you amend an ordinance. There's nothing prohibiting the council from amending a redistricting ordinance if it chooses to do so. The two main things that have to be observed are one person, one vote, and don't violate Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And I can tell you that Ms. Lizzie Felker has a plan that's proposed to you tonight that retains 3 minority majority districts, meaning black districts. If you want to know the percentages that are going to be retained under this ordinance, District 1 will not be changed from the original enactment. District 1 today, or at the time of the census, had a minority population of 66.18%. That's still the official numbers. District 1 has a 66.18% black population. Ms. Felker's plan that she's offered has a change for District 2 and the change for District 3, the change for District 4. District 2 will now have 73.22% minority black population by the census. District 4 will have a 90.81% black population. District 1 is 66%. District 5 was not changed, and District 4 will have will add population by moving the entire precinct. Now, what does Ms. Felker's plan intend to do? Ms. Felker's plan intends to return District 18 to District 4. She's clearly set that out, and I think y'all know that's been the big issue in Richmond. Ms. Felker's plan complies with one person, one vote. Ms. Felker's proposed complies with the federal voting requirements. She began consulting with RAPC shortly after she got elected, but she went there in November of 23. In November of 23, she reached out to people at the RAPC because she didn't know the population numbers. She obtained that information, and I'm assuming she was discussing the matter with her constituents. Ms. Felker went back to the RAPC in February and told the people at RAPC she was interested as a council person in offering a redistricting proposal. That proposal did a couple of things. It would move some people in District 3 that are in the Sonia oil mill corridor, and it's in Precinct 9. It would it would put most of the Sonia Old Mill quarter into District 3. It already had, the 22 amendment had already moved partially in down to Vance Street. This amendment proposes to move the line to the precinct line, precinct 9, which is right there on the bayou, just above Dallas Street. The other change that she makes is moving District C40, which is called, in legal terms, the SA Guy subdivision, but y'all think of it as the city park area of town. It's the area of town from Vance to the city park by. This council in 22 moved District 4 already. They made some changes, but the District 2 has now taken over all of City Park. So it makes logical sense to move a community of interest into that precinct that would be represented by District 4. Another important feature of what Ms. Belcher's plan does is it creates more compactness with contiguous neighborhoods. Y'all heard them talk about even the Garden District. So that's important. Sonia Quarter will be retained, and the city park part of town will be all represented by neighborhoods by their council people. So what is the process that you go through when the city council redistricts? I've been involved in 4 different redistrictings. They all have similar motives, and they're almost always based on changes in population shifts. And this goes back to 1980. Council people always write their district plans. Incumbents can write a plan that protects the incumbents. Incumbents can look at our legislature. They write their districts for their neighborhoods and where they live. When they wanted to enact new congressional districts for Congress, there were legislators that created congressional districts they could run in. Now that brings up a point about this. People have, you've heard them say this wasn't transparent. Well, it is transparent. This has been going on for a number of months now. There's an Act 240 of the legislature, which today, since 2023, requires 2 public hearings, where the public is entitled, prior to adoption of any redistricting or reapportioning a local governing body, to hold a minimum of 2 public hearings. Though that's why we're having a second hearing tonight. We had one last week. Maps have been out here. The information has been here. There is nothing wrong with what Ms. Felter has done from a legal standpoint. I talked to the ethics board administration. There is nothing wrong. This is not a prohibited transaction, ladies and gentlemen of the council, because public officials have to do their own districts and have to redistrict. And a matter of fact, it's an exception. Anytime that it's not a significant, substantial economic interest that's involved, when the interest of the public service has in its position, office, rank, salary, per diem, or other matters arising from his public employment. For instance, the council can make a decision about their salaries. Now, under the charter, if you did it, you have to wait to the next term, but that's in the charter. There's nothing in the charter that says you cannot redistrict more than one time. Now, there's been a lot of talk, but these are facts with dates certain. It's been submitted to the United States Department of Justice and the Secretary of State that I gave y'all for how it came about before. There's nothing wrong with Ms. Felter bringing a matter up. Now, there's been a big boo-ha-ha. Well, that's politics, that's democracy. I can't get into your politics. In the meantime, the council is considering redistricting. And I believe the Assistant City Attorney has a couple of final comments.
Thank you. Daniel Smith, Daniel Smith, Assistant City Attorney for the City of Alexandria. I'll be brief, don't worry. Just want to clarify though, because some folks who are formerly in positions of authority here have, over the previous hearing and today, made assertions about what the law is with respect to the home rule charter or districting. So this is just, again, some facts about what happened. Everything I'm going to tell you is on the public record. There was a temporary restraining order that was filed today. Centered on that legal question. There was a hearing before a judge in the Civil District Court this afternoon around 4 o'clock. The pleading, the main thrust of it was that the home rule charter does not allow redistricting other than the situations in which there's either a census or annexation. The city put forth its position that those provisions do require this body to redistrict, but they don't prohibit other redistricting at other time. And the judge denied the restraining order. The judge said she did not find anything in the home rule charter that would prevent you guys from taking this vote today or redistricting in other situations than those two that were enumerated. So I want to make sure that was clear. That's in the public record. If you guys want to discuss that litigation further in the future, it's up to you if you want to notice an executive session, but I think that that's all really I want to get into at this point. Thank you.
That was filed, right?
So good night, JDC.
Okay, these people, Jay Scott?
Yeah, everyone, Jay Scott, 18th Street Drive. Well, I guess I'm on with you today. Hopefully, we can get some stuff done right. I think that change the line for one person is crazy, especially an elected official person. I think that's breaking the law. Whatever they say, they went to the case this morning, early this morning. That's amazing. Taxpayers' dollars, it's amazing. When we sit back trying to do something positive and change what we outlook at Alexandria, it doesn't look good. We're fighting for the wrong reason. We're fighting each other for nothing when we should be going forward, trying to stop crime, let the kids come out of the way. I hope it's Jermaine, because it's really important that it's a lot of death going on. But if we're gonna call about lying, if I don't know the Sonia courts in my area, I'm not going over there. If I want Kettle Lane out of city limits, I'm not gonna pick it, but Cabanas is the city limits. I'm not mistaken. You know, so what are we doing? Are we really fighting for the right things here? The lines, Lizzie, it's crazy to me. It's very disrespectful to the community. I really believe that. I'm studying it, I'm watching it, and I hope something be done. You know, to the new attorney, I guess. Oh, y'all, the mayor's so great. Not true.
Ms. Sarah? Frank? Sarah, Mr. Lorenzo Davis?
Sim,
Senior?
I'm Junior. I'm young. I'm senior. That's right. I heard Trey, I heard you work firm up there. And I heard you wasn't a salesperson, right? You were a young attorney, but that was a good sales job you tried to do, selling what is his platform. U.S. federal census, taken every 10 years since 1790, found it necessary in order to collect data, which is given for the redrawing and redistricting of maps. Not for personal gain, partisan gerrymandering. Anytime we violate the Constitution, voting with the Constitution, It's an anti-democratic act. It opens up citywide division. It intensifies non-transparency. It opens up a process that's gonna be used over and over again. I'm gonna move fast because I talked to several people today, and a friend of mine, civil rights attorney in Baton Rouge, told me, you guys wrong. Y'all got it wrong. Trey, you got it wrong, bro. Y'all got it wrong. In that court situation, I'll have him on that in the morning. Got it wrong, man. Oh, okay, so you got it wrong. Everybody that's complicit with this act today, the Department of Justice is looking at this discriminative act, which is going on in the city of Alexandria. And their goal is to ensure that the goals and redistricting or redrawing of maps by city council and other legislative seats do not discriminate on the basis of race, color, sex, or any other personal agenda. The DOJ will use every tool in its arsenal from them to represent, protect, and fight for the rights of all Americans' right to vote. Public officials are never allowed to be above the law. They must comply with the law. Voting Rights Act, when redrawing electoral maps, quoting Mary Garland, the DOJ will ensure that all people will have an equal and fair opportunity to elect their representatives and not their representatives elect them. There should never be this process going on in our city. Should have been stopped at the top because it's wrong. So I want to give this to the city. The comments which were made to me today by the person I spoke with at the DOJ said that they wanted their phone number to be given. 1-800, because we have a right to report this violation and complaint directly to not just the Department of Justice, 1-800-253-3931. Let me repeat it, 1-800-253-3931. Again, so I plead with the council to make the right vote, because everybody that don't, you will be a part of this process. Okay.
Ms. Bowman?
First, I want to say that, because I'm only going to be up here a short minute, I just really want to get up to give you all some information, who to get in contact with or to file a complaint. But first, I want to say to our police chief, you are the police chief, am I not correct? I didn't appreciate what you said a few minutes ago when I was over in the other room about that we are being a threat to you and your officers. Before everybody left, yes, the room was predominantly black, but we have no weapons. Our words cannot cut you. We cannot physically hurt you. It was very insulting. And that is my right to speak. I pay your salary. I am a registered voter citizen. Everybody is not always trying to be combative. And it's very insulting for you to say so or imply it. So, to everyone else, I would like for you to, because I'm not going to go through the whole spiel about Lizzie and all this. I would like for you, I implore you, to write to the Office of the Attorney General, Post Office Box, let me get it a little bigger, 94005, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70804, to Liz Morrell, Attorney General, complaint of gerrymandering by Elizabeth Myers Felton. Get your family, get your friends, get anybody. We have a voice. Granted that Jim Crow do not feel we have a voice. We can remove people if we stick together and come together and put people who will fight for the citizens and not themselves. So get all of your friends and family, flood this office with letters and information. I don't care if you say nothing but that it was wrong and it needs to be investigated. Just send it so we can be represented by the right people.
Ms. McCall?
I'm not gonna take long. And I totally piggyback off of what she said. It was very insulting the way that our citizens are treated here altogether anyway. And we've been dealing with this for years here.
McCall, you live in Alexandria?
Does it matter where I live at?
Well, you can't
No,
say
no,
you're a
no.
citizen.
Does it matter?
Last
Do
week,
I?
you put
Okay.
515
Okay,
Washington
do
on
you
the
need to know
sign.
that? Do you really need to know that, Mr. Fuller, where
Yes,
I live
I'd
at?
like to know where
Well,
you
you know
live.
what? I'm not telling you. How about that? How about I
You know,
not even
you're not a
discuss that?
citizen of Alexandria.
It doesn't matter
Okay.
if I'm a citizen.
Okay, so.
I'm going to continue saying what I need to say.
Just address this, Jim, just address this.
About-
If you
You should
ask everybody else.
You didn't ask nobody else.
I got
That's
this.
not-
Everybody else has it listed on the thing, man.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, that's why I asked.
You know, that's
You
not
should
the
ask
reason why.
everybody.
You
You
should
did
ask
this last
everybody that
time
came up.
with Mr. Scott.
Ms. Bowman.
My address on that paper.
I'm not gonna call him out, but I just asked him because last week.
Are you gonna take up my 3 minutes?
I got a question. Hold on, just.
My address on that paper.
You put 515 Washington Street.
I sure did. I
You put
sure
the city
did.
court.
I sure did.
So
Well,
let me,
that's- I mean, how do I
is
trust
this,
Go
is this
there.
in the home charter? Hold on, is this in the home charter that anybody that speaks? at
Anybody
this
can
meeting,
speak. Anybody can speak.
So they don't have to live in Alexandria, they can live in
They
Timbuktu?
live in Timbuktu.
Okay,
Well,
so
why you
what
asking
is
me?
the
That's why I
plan?
should consider yourself a citizen of Alexandria.
What do you need? Do I need to show you something that I live in
Ms.
Alexandria?
McCall, Ms. McCall, go ahead and speak.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, like I was saying, this whole thing is a fiasco, and I pray to God that justice is served in this whole situation. I really do. I hope and pray God that this whole situation be revealed for what it is. We know this is not all Lizzie. We know this. We know that from the get-go. Okay? She had, when we talked about the dates, Trey got up there and talked about the dates. She had plenty of time to look at those maps. At the same time, as a citizen, a private citizen of that area, she had plenty of time to look at that map. So given her long range of her percentages and all that, that was irrelevant. She had time, just like any other citizen, to look at that map. And if she had any questions then, she could have addressed it then. For us to be in this situation right now, it's crazy. She had time, just like any other citizen, when she was just a citizen at that time, not as an elected official, as a regular private citizen. She had plenty of time to look at that map and ask the questions and do what she had to do prior to her even running for that position. So I pray that justice is done in this whole situation. Thank you.
Ms. Bell?
My name is Ms. Bell, as you know. I live in District 2. And I agree with everyone that stepped before me. The attorney got up here and said what he had to say. Dates might have been wrong, but the word facts been used a lot today. Facts. August 23rd, the maps were voted on and accepted and approved by all council members. No opposition. Yes, Ms. Felter qualified for the November 8th elections on July 21st. She had time to review the maps, to examine her prospective district. At the public hearing held on last week, on the 27th, the councilwoman presented a political presentation on what and how she could fix this. Travis just affirmed what she just said, because if you notice, he said she. She. So we already know what the vote is gonna be. 1 Timothy 2:1 and 2 urges every believer in Jesus Christ to vote for their political leaders. I vote for this, pray for the city of Alexandria and its leaders. The city of Alexandria voted you guys in office as leaders to be people of justice, integrity, and goodness. And by voting for amending, redistricting, reproportionate, this ordinance to me is failing to do justice for the citizens of District 1, 2, and 3, which will all be affected. And basically, this to me sounds like malfeasance in office. I'm not a lawyer and I don't pretend to be, but you should look up the state of Louisiana legislation, RS 14-134. And if you vote for this ordinance to be amended, you all are guilty of malfeasance in office.
You're right. It's gonna be said.
Discussion?
Yes. Did you guys meet in the back when you guys out when we was on TV? Anybody here?
It was hard.
It was hard. It was hard to hear.
Well, I'm gonna go over what I said. You know, when I ran for office, I thought I could bring this city together. I sat and watched for a few years. I don't have a politic bone in my body, but I thought I could move Alexandria. You know, from some of the cities I've seen, I live in. We are so divided, and all we have been doing since I've been here is dividing this city. And I apologize because of my partner. We're gonna talk about moving 1,600 and some people for one person. I got the number somewhere. Of course, I'm not gonna vote for it because I would not ask someone to vote for me if I was doing this. You know, I done thought, I think Ms. Bowman said something last week about military. She came back to Alexandria. Pretty much the same thing. I could live anywhere. I can't Alexandria to live, try to be changed. Leaving that up to the agree with Jay Scott. We should be helping these kids. We got killings every freaking day, and the summer have even got here again. For the last month, we've been concentrating on stuff that's not gonna have no citizen but one person. So I wanna apologize for the way this council been acting. Now, I got something else I gotta say. This lady beside me, and that gentleman down there, we get beat up way more than these other guys.
I know that.
Y'all beat us up, this, I could say. But believe, just in the last freaking 90 days, talking to these people, they got the good attention at heart. You know, moving people, I think 400 some, I don't have a number for, just for one person. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And I'm trying my best to not to leave the job, because I don't need a job. Everybody know my background. I don't need this job. But people like you, Ms. Bell, keep me running. I say, listen, y'all keep me going. Y'all keep me going, because I know y'all got right in your heart. And if I ever do something that y'all don't like, tell me. I got thick skin. But this is wrong. And all we're doing right now It's dividing us more and more. Meanwhile, there's some good things going on in Alexandria. Mr. McCall got a tutor thing over there at Peabody where they trying to help these kids. We should do the same thing. Every time you turn on the news, Alexandria is something bad. And we're better than this. I know we are. Because I see when you guys get there, your heart holds out right there at that stand. And this one lady said she's been there since 1951. That's 11 years before I was born. She barely made it up there to that podium right there to speak. And what she said was spot on. I don't believe, ma'am, but God bless you. I've been getting emotional lately, and that's not even my character. Everybody knows me. That's not my character. But we can do better than this. And you guys hold my feet to the fire. Hold Miss Perry's feet to the fire.
Oh, they do.
But do it out of respect. And that's all I'll say tonight.
Mr. Lord. May I say, I had to sign up, but you made the comment that you spoke last week, you couldn't speak this week, and I retained it. I was gonna do 19 and 20. But go right ahead, Mr. Green. Thank you kindly. Good afternoon, I'm Jules Green, resident of Alexandria. Mr. Gist, you went back and said that the census was released on the date I wrote down, September 10, 2021, was released by the U.S. Bureau. You say you've been here through 8 redistricting. Do you recall in 2010 when I was redistricted out of District 4? Because I chose to run against Harry Civil. They put me in District 3. But God worked it out. I won District 3 2 times. But what I'm saying is, y'all are changing people. And Ms. Felker, I got redistricted, my group, Marie Street got redistricted. I went down and talked to all my neighbors. I know my neighbors, been there 39 years. They asked me, what do we have in common with District 3? I said, we're all taxpaying citizens. We're all Christians, and we live in one city, we want to make it better. I accepted District 3. Everybody in District 3 said, you way across town. I didn't choose to do that. I was moved, and I accepted it. I didn't come to this council to ask them to put me back in District 4. So what I'm saying is today, Mr. Gist, would you stand in court and say, attest on a Bible, that you did not persuade Ms. Felker to go to the planning commission to talk about this? Now, this gentleman just said a lawsuit or injunction was filed. I can assure you, if this passes, it's gonna be much worse. I thank you, Mr. Lord, President, for letting me speak, and the citizens hear my concern.
Yeah, I got something. You take it and pass it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
We just want to make sure everybody in the public is able to get one.
You have one for the media over here so we can share it with the public?
It'll come down that way, it'll circulate around. I am, on this matter, number 20, I am gonna read what I wrote here. I'm motioning that the council request a review for the rezoning of districts by city council to consider final adoption of ordinance amending city council ordinance number 153-2022 relative to boundaries of city council districts 2, 3, and 4, reiterating and reenacting the boundaries in ordinance number 153-2022 for districts 1 and 5, and otherwise amending and reenacting Article 3 of Chapter 2, Sections 2-46 through 2-50
in Alexandria Code of Ordinances relative to city council districts, amending, redistricting, and reapportioning relative to city council district 2, 3, and 4, and otherwise to provide for effectiveness and other matters with respect thereto. In this letter, I am motioning, it says, dear Louisiana Attorney General, we are writing to bring to attention a matter of concern regarding the recent decision by our city council to proceed with the rezoning of districts, particularly in light of a similar action taken within the past 2 years. Our community has recently undergone a rezoning process, and the decision to rezone districts once again raises questions and uncertainties among residents. Given the significant impact that rezoning can have on representation and that the distribution of resources within our city, it is essential to ensure that this process is conducted transparently and in accordance with the law. We as a council respectfully request that your office review the recent actions of our city council regarding the rezoning of districts. Specifically, I ask that you assess the legality and justification behind this decision, considering the potential implications for our community's democratic representation and fair governance. Your expertise and oversight in this matter will provide reassurance to residents and uphold the principles of accountability and integrity in our local government. We believe that a thorough review by your office will help clarify any concerns and ensure that the interests of our community are properly safeguarded. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I look forward to your response and any actions taken to address this issue. Sincerely, Alexandria City Council. Like I said, I am motioning that we send this letter to our Attorney General before we make a decision on voting on this tonight.
Mr. President, there we have a motion on the floor, moved by Mr. Rubin and second by Mr. Lloyd, as the original
We can take this up after we finish the motion and we'll try and work it. It doesn't matter.
So there is a motion on the floor. There's no other discussion. So we do that, and then I can do it. Well, we have the motion to send it to them. From what I saw, we have the motion and vote as a council to send a review to the Attorney General.
Yeah, he wants to make a motion to be a form of substitute.
But I want to get a review before we vote on this. Because if we vote on this and it's not right, then that's what I'm also doing.
Is to delay the item.
Delay the item until we send a review to the Attorney General.
Have we done it wrong?
So the motion on the floor is considered the redistricting, not this motion.
So we're not gonna figure this out because he called for question.
For the substitute motion.
Mr. Rubin. Mr. Lloyd.
Yes.
Ms. Belcher.
Yes.
Ms. Perry. Mr. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Fowler. Mr. Washington.
No.
Mr. President, you have 4 yes and 3 no, and the motion carries.
Okay, Mr. Washington, would you like to make this motion, send it to the?
Yes, I will. So we gotta get a motion and then we gotta do a vote, right? Okay.
Consent.
Yeah. So I'm putting my motion in, just right here, and we send a review to the Attorney General.
Okay, Mr. Washington, I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Belcher. To add to.
No, it's not to add it to the agenda.
You have to add it. Okay, roll call for Mr. Washington.
Yes.
To add to. Mr. Rubin.
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes.
Ms. Belcher.
Yes.
Ms. Perry. Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Fowler.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, agree.
I'm sorry.
No. So now we will see some. Because I do want to make sure everybody understands. Mr. Fowler. Unanimous consent to send this to the attorney general. To add it to the agenda. So I can just wait to have it added to the agenda for next week.
Number 31, consider final adoption of the mayor to set the law Move. Discussion. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 22, consider final adoption authorize the mayor to set the law to submit for construction and maintenance materials. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 23, consider final adoption authorize the mayor to enter intergovernmental agreement not just related to providing services for public safety, federal, workers, and other classes. Certain not related. Rizzo, vacancy. Lorenzo.
Public comment.
Yeah, public comment for 23. So how to train community, I don't. I did have something to say, I just want to make sure, I saw we had this on up here, so nothing's changed from what we received today. Has anything changed, that was in the fact sheet? We just got this up here, right?
Councilman, that's a draft of the proposed IGA.
Okay, I saw it in the back, I said, no word.
Discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 24, consider final adoption authorize the mayor to execute end-user license agreement with Everbright Incorporated for mass communication messaging platform. Second. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 25, consider final adoption authorize the mayor to set the low bid for electric meters and assessment. Administration has requested the time related to and motion related to. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 26, consider final authorize the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for sewer replacement on Marie Street. The administration requested this item be related to the road. Public comment, discussion, all in favor? Motion carried. 27, consider final officer order to authorize the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for James Royal for mileage. Comment, discussion, all in favor? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Good job, 1, 3, and 2. Good job. Y'all spoke with me.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in this evening. As you can see, motion did pass to rezone
Can you believe that, brother?
Oh, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah,